And we are live. Salute and salutations. This is Ibn Alamin, also known as Coach Ibn or Mental Alchemy. And want to have a brief dialogue and or rant of discussion. Subject matter is alignment requires proof of alignment through discernible action. Alignment requires proof of alignment through discernible action. And the preface for this context is based on how so many of us talk about alignment, but is there any discernible action that you're taking? You discern that something could be good, right? You perceive it in your whether you want to go from a third eye perspective in your heart, and are you taking action on those things that are in alignment with what you think, feel, or believe that you want? And what I've actually found is that most people don't do it. Maybe they don't have the discernment. Maybe it's I'm wondering if it's actually a discernment thing. I would definitely like to hear any kind of comments or remarks regarding that, because alignment, there has to be some level of proof of alignment with what it is that you're trying to accomplish and what is it that you actually want to be able to do, or especially what you claim that you want to do, or who you are willing to become or becoming. And one of the things that brought this subject matter to my attention is, I'll just say it this way. I never know what I'm going to say when I kind of come on here. I just kind of shoot from the cuff. To those that it resonates, I hope that it is a blessing to you in your mental and your universal life. All right. About a few days ago, I had made a post about that. Full disclosure, I'm involved in a Forex hedge fund. Forex hedge fund is called Novatech. I actually signed up through some partners of mine, or one particular partner, but it was introduced to me through someone that they knew. And coincidentally, the date that I got in was 2/22 of 22. If you're into numerology, there is some universal law. Whether you're in or not doesn't matter. I'm going to say it this way. There is universal law in the construct of numbers and the significance and how they permeate throughout all of our existence. So I get into this hedge fund, if you will, this Forex crypto hedge fund. And at the time, from then until now, we pretty much was averaging about 3% per week. In the markets last week, we dropped down to, 2 weeks ago, it kind of started. There's the whole thing with Luna and Terra. You might be familiar with the crypto space. I'm not here to go into all of that. I was actually doing some research on it today about how or why those things happen. But overall, all markets have been down for the past 2 weeks. However, the first week of the things that went down, we still made a profit. Okay. It was like 0.67%, but that's per week. Okay. If you're a part of the Novatech community, our payouts are weekly, right? So in the subsequent week, which was last week, my account yielded 1.68% on the week. We call it Friday, as in the community group. We call it Friday. Every Friday is a Friday because we are still making money while we sleep. And I want to really share, whether you think, feel, or believe that this stuff is real, or there's these concepts and terms they call FUD, fear, and scarcity and doubt. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to get into all that today. I got some other stuff I really need to do, but there are people literally making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, either one, because they have a significant lump sum of capital in their PAM account, PAAM. Do your own research on what that is. That's what it's called. PAAM. It's called a PAM account. And it's a liquidity pool where the organization takes 30% of the funds from everyone. So think about it from a crowdfunding space, 30%. And then they have traders who trade, and then they pay out through the membership. And it's done on a weekly basis. And I want to share it. I've actually been sharing this I've been sharing it here and there to a few people. This is not a solicitation. However, I do think, feel, to believe that in this current time, you really need to be aware of some of the things that are going on, because I know for a fact that everyone's not aware of everything that's taking place with, things like this, whether it's crypto, Forex, markets. There are certain things that I know. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know, but I do know for a fact that there are people as part of this community. I've talked to them that they actually have enough capital, seed capital, and they've been in this program since its inception back in 2019. So this platform's been around since 2019. Okay, so this is not something new. There are platforms that come online and then they do not last. This is long sustainable, considerably, and it's probably definitely my number one platform that I'm utilizing right now. But I do some other stuff too. We'll talk about some of those other things later. We got monthly dividend stocks, regulation A+, note purchasing and things like that. I think you should educate yourself in that space. You should educate yourself in that space because the concept that we are utilizing when you hear me speak is all about buying time. Can you buy a year? Can you like purchase a year? And when I mean by purchase a year, throughout the whole span of a year, how much does a year cost based upon your real lived expenses and personality spending habits? What does that actually look like? Have you ever even thought of that? If you haven't, think about that. Okay. Move that to the side. Have you thought about how much a month costs? Can you purchase a month right now? Yes or no? Could you purchase a week? Could you purchase a day? If you didn't spend any money today, or let's say you did spend some money, you went to Chick-fil-A and the meal cost you $15 or $16. Did you get $15 back into your checking account or Anchor Bank today? It's either a yes or a no. And if you haven't, maybe some of the stuff that I'm talking about might be advantageous for you to partake of. So back to Novatech. There's a video on here. This is really what I wanted to talk about. There's a video in my feed right now. It's a roundtable discussion of, I use the term vernacular WPs, and they're sitting around talking about it. It's on my feed. It's on this. It's on my page rather, and you can take a look at it and see what they're talking about. And that's the reason why I posted it. I don't just want people to just post a like or just make a comment. This stuff is actually happening, and are you aware that it's happening? Now that I've made you aware, what are you going to do with that level of awareness? So that's why I say alignment requires proof of alignment through discernible action, because now that you've been privy to something, are you willing to do the due diligence to go and research and or reach out to individuals who are a part of these kind of things, right? That's very important and significant. This presentation is brought to you by this photo right here, my two little ones. And I purposely put this up here because it was a year ago. Well, it hasn't actually been quite 1 year, but that's where my virtual office is. And that was a year ago. And I put that there. So I'm like, man, I'm coming up on a year, man. It's kind of crazy, right? And you'd be surprised the things that you can actually do 3, 6, 9 months to put yourself in a position to what the next year is going to be. And this is my way of expressing it to a very particular niche community who actually want to engage in entrepreneurship, business, and education. And one of the quotes that often comes across in the Novatech community is, if you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. But if you are willing to learn, no one can stop you. No matter where you are, you must always continuously get education and implementation of that education to get to where you need. So I hope this was significant. Today is 5:23. Shooting this real quick before I got to get out of here and go grab them, snatch them up, and hope this was helpful. Do some due diligence and research. Matter of fact, you know what? No, first watch the video. Watch the video on my feed. It's just a roundtable discussion of these of a select group of individuals who have significant money. Everyone at that table has over 25K in there. Frame of reference. Let's talk about it. Let's see. Granted that the market is down in the now. Let's run a scenario. We can ask the phone. Look at that. How much is 3% of 25,000?
That comes to 750.
All right. So if we were to continue to average 3% of 25,000, you had $25,000 in there. That's $750 a week times 4. That's $3,000 a month. Could that pay? Well, we don't pay for anything. We offset expenses, but could that offset some expenses, which allows your work money to do more. What would you do with more of the work money? Invest more in other things and platforms if you felt the need to do so, which I definitely encourage. And none of this is financial advice, and you should not listen to me because I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not your financial advisor. I am someone who talks about the mental component of what we call money and the backstory behind what we call money. Because my thing is, there is no money. You are the money. Be mindful of how you spend yourself. And if you're not spending yourself appropriately, you'll never get ahead to do the things that you claim that you want to do, because you should be running your life like a business so that you can be in position to do things that you want to do, especially if you're in the danger zone. In the danger zone, shout out to my mentor, GC, below 50,000, because I just put $20 in the tank and I needed to get some gas because the school is pretty far away. It was like $5.31. I was like, oh, hamburger. Okay, I'm glad I'm doing the stuff that I'm doing. Alignment requires proof of alignment through discernible action. If this information is advantageous to you, if it piques a level of discernment in you, and you get that little warm feeling right here, it might be something for you to do. I'm not here to tell you to do it. There is a component of a referral program. You know, if you were interested, you could, reach out. I'll probably, no, if you're interested, no, you got to make a comment, just reach out to me. Like my whole thing this year it's all about removing the excuses. There is so much out here that you don't really know how you can actually take advantage of. And I think that you should be taking advantage of it if it resonates with where you're trying to go. Because there was a video from listen to Erica Williams. If you don't know, on YouTube, I've got a lot of great knowledge and course material from her. And she was discussing 3 classes that are going to be prevalent in our society. And that's the first one is the choosing class. These people have enough economic resources to make choices and decisions about their life, where they live, where they can go on vacation, and all these other kind of things. The second group is going to be, I can't recall. If I recall, I'll probably just make a post of it, what the 3 classes are. But I do know for a fact it will be in a permanent underclass. And you don't want to be in a permanent underclass, because you got to start thinking about things beyond you, things beyond your children. Can you buy enough time for 2 generations? Yes or no? And then the question is, who do I have to become so that I can position future generations, so that it's someday when your God in the body goes back and this 3rd dimensional avatar expires, that somewhere in some house there's going to be some sort of mural of you right over the fireplace, and that's great 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 granddaddy, and that was great 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 grandmother, and we have all of these things because she did her due diligence and she was aligned through discernible action, and she made choices, and he or she made choices and decisions that allowed us to live the life that we're living now. That's a conversation of trust. We might talk about that a little bit later, but you definitely want to position yourself so that you can work your way up to having a trust. We'll talk about that another time. It's not the core crux of this. So with that, it's Ibn al-Amin, also known as Mental Alchemy, and I bid you a great day. And all that you build, be sure that you are building a bank so that you can cash flow like a CEO. Cheers.